Have you lost your job? Have you lost a loved one? Are you exhausted caring for your parents, for your kids? Well, you can find immediate relief when you read Sheila Mack's new #1 bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps. It contains the Boots formula to move from rock bottom back into action in any situation, especially right now. If life has knocked you down, pick yourself up with Bootstraps and Bra Straps. Get your copy at www.SheilaMack.com today.
Are you ready for a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio, Mondays at 1 and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila. Are you ready for a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio, Mondays at 1 and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila.
Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. Here we have real people sharing real stories and actionable steps to help you reinvent, rebuild, and reboot your life on your terms. I'm Sheila Mack, your host, and today we have special guest, Linda Thompson. Linda empowers, inspires, and encourages single women and individuals in transition to live the best life possible by removing challenges and roadblocks which hinder her in life. She is a speaker, author, certified health and life strategist that has 27 years of experience in promoting healthy pregnancies and families as a public health social worker. She also has a degree in sociology and a concentration in psychology. All right. Well, welcome to the show, Linda.
Thank you, Sheila, so much. What a great opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, and this show is based on my new bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. And this year, we have had just about every situation happen to us globally and in every area of our life. So I would love for you to start by sharing with the audience maybe a story about a time in your own life where you overcame a tough situation and got back on track.
Okay, I can think of one off the top of my head. One situation was back in, I would say, up to 2012. I come from a large family, a family of 13. Wow. And there's only 5 of us left. So that means I have gone through a lot of deaths, had to deal with grief a lot. And so around 2013, 2015, I went into a very hard place because I lost 2 relatives within less than 2 years. So I went to that dark place where I was sad. I'm like, oh God, I'm losing people, and not just losing my brothers and sisters. I was losing cousins, and because there's so many of us. So I didn't realize that I was still working. I was on autopilot, to tell you the truth, because I was going like an hour in about 45 minutes to an hour in distance to help, be a caregiver and all that. Come to work, have my husband, have family, all these things I was doing. And really, I got to the point where I was wearing myself out. But being on autopilot, the doctor said, Linda, you were running on fumes. My wake up call was I was feeling real bad one night. And I said, Lord, if you just let me live into tomorrow, I'll go to the doctor. I know some other people have probably had moments like that. You can put it off and see if you're better. So when I got up, of course, I was feeling better. I went to work. And then at around 10 o'clock, because I went in at 8, around 10 o'clock, I was feeling good. But that thought came to my mind. You said if you make it to another day, you'll go be checked out, right? So sure enough, I told my supervisor I need to leave for a few minutes, take some extended time. And when I went to the doctor said, Linda, you have been running on fumes. I have to send you straight to the hospital to have a blood transfusion.
Oh.
And had I not came in that day, she said, if you had waited another day or two, you probably wouldn't have been here. Wow. So I had the blood transfusion, but I was feeling fine. I never, ever got tired or anything until that night. And I guess, God has a way of getting us through things and we're not really paying attention, and he just takes us through. So when I had the transfusion, I was better. And then after that, I still lost someone else. And I went on vacation to Myrtle Beach. That's where I used to love to go. And the lady said, Linda, where have you been? Because you haven't been here in 2 years. I'm like, in 2 years? This is my favorite spot. I had put everything aside, but taking care of myself. So that's why my message is we can do for others, but at some point we have to stop, take a pause, and take care of ourselves. So my message is all about being positive, taking care of yourself, do what we need to do, but still have balance and be able to take care of yourself. So that's one moment that it was a turning point, and I overcame because I started back doing things that I like to do, plus doing things for family. So I reinvented myself. So from 2015 up until now, I'm very happy. I reinvented myself, and I can balance things a whole lot better now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Wow. That also, it's such a situation that a lot of people have had these things happen this year with the pandemic. A lot more people have lost loved ones that maybe have never lost a loved one before. And so it is a very important topic to remember to take care of ourselves. And I think when we're going through the grieving stages, it's really easy. You're kind of numb and you're going through the steps, but you don't even feel your own physical needs, for sure. I lost my youngest son. I have 6 children. I adopted 3 are mine. And my youngest son was 22. He passed away last Christmas time. And so we took 6 months off, the whole family. And we were like, we needed the universal pause because right after we had the funeral in January because of the holidays. And then right after that, it seems we barely woke up and COVID hit. And we really, my younger kids said, wow, we really needed this time to just have a family pause. And we forget to do that overall. Yes. So that is so important. And if you're sitting in and you feel like maybe you haven't been to the doctor or checkup this year, check in. Now they have telemedicine. If you're afraid to go to the doctor, you can still do that, especially if you're paying for this health insurance. You might as well use it. The health
That's true.
Yes, you might as well use it and at least do the telehealth if you can't get out and see and check in, because now more than ever, our health is so important.
We only have one of us, we don't, there's no do-overs. So we have to take care of ourselves now. We really do.
Yes. And so part of what I read about you was you've been in psychology and social work. What are you doing now? And would you like to share about some of what you're doing now, your program?
Yes, I will. I was employed in public health for 27 plus years, and I was serving single moms and families, promoting healthy pregnancies and healthy lifestyles. I just loved it, loved it. I retired in 2018. And during those years, I taught parenting classes. We did self-development type things. And like I said, promoted healthy pregnancies along with that. And we dealt with issues as far as self-esteem and domestic violence, child abuse. Um, a lot of the girls, they love talking to us so much that they went to school to be social workers, nurses. Some got their own businesses. So it was an empowering spirit and experience. In the county that I live in, every baby that was born from the health department, because I worked in the local health department, I got a chance to hold those babies before they were even 2 weeks old, because they would bring them back in so that we could see them, before they went home. So that's to know that I have empowered a lot of women in my hometown, and I've even held their babies. That is really, really special. And after I retired I didn't know it, Sheila, this was a wonderful surprise. My coworkers had nominated me for the Old North State Award, which is the second highest governor's award given to those who have served 20 plus years of service and community volunteerism. So I was awarded that at my retirement luncheon, and I had no idea that they had nominated me. So that was a pleasure. And I am a health and life coach. I knew I was going to retire, so I got certified for that. Mm-hmm. And I am an author of 2 books. One is Jealousy or Envy. Is There a Killer in You? Stop the War Within and Be Set Free. And the second book is Speak Positively and Expect the Victory, Words of Wisdom. Both books talk about being positive, because words are powerful. Words either create or words destroy.
That is so true. And I can tell you my own, with adopting 3 children, and then I came out of being homeless at 10 to 13, going into foster care, emancipating at 15, having my first child at 18, the whole story. And with all my journey, when I opened my first store, I also continued to mentor at the girls' homes, and I started a program. It was a job training program. The government helped fund this program, and I trained over 200 youth that were emancipating from the foster care system to get jobs, to learn every aspect of running gift stores. And 6 months later, they would graduate from me and work at a bigger store that could pay them more money than I could. But the part of that store and that business was actually those kids. And one of the things I would do was I would find people that were great salespeople. A lot of the times my top manager at my first store was a retired social worker. And she was like she was my social worker for my kids, and she happened to be able to sell things. And so it's whatever you're doing in life, you can still contribute, and it seems it blesses everyone. Yes,
it does. It does. It does.
And now my young, I have one daughter, and the rest are all boys. And my one daughter is studying psychology, and she actually works at a home it's like a big group home for girls that are pregnant and have babies. And she looks 16 herself, even though she's 24. And they're like, "Are you a resident?" No. And she's the counselor there, and she's been there 3 years. So it's interesting how she got used to that, and she loves to help. She would bring home other kids. She didn't bring home pets. She brought home other kids. It's something, when it's something that's inside of you, you can't help it. It's your mission. It's your, it sounds like your life mission for you also, Linda, is helping people. And so you've continued that with your coaching practice and your books. Yes, that's beautiful.
Yes, because I love spreading the message through my books, because I get so many comments. People will email me, say, "Linda, I wish I had this book years ago, because now I see what the abuse I was going through, and I see how I need to change my speaking and talking and stuff like that." So it is rewarding. And the things that we go through in life, it's not for us, it's someone else anyway, for us to learn something and be able to share that with other people. And I just get so much joy. I tell people I'm not retired because I'm still serving people. I love the single moms and women who are going through some type of transition in life, whether it's a loss of a loved one, loss of a job, or loss of a dream or hope or something like that, or, you know, or a single mom going through some type of transition. I just love it. It's
Yes.
just a part of me, you know. I love
And
it.
it makes such a difference. I mean, I remember being young and having people help me out when I was first started, getting out of foster care, emancipating early, all these things. And they really made a huge difference in my own life. And so that is so important. I wanted to take a moment to share. Now, I'm sure you know about this 211, but a lot of people don't. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
You can tell me more about, I think so. So we talk about.
So in the United States, in any state, if you dial 211, which is like the old 411, this is 211 for resources. So if you're listening in, you may never have had to look for resources, and all of a sudden this year, you might need a food bank, or you might need to get help to get out of an abusive situation. You may need medical care, maybe help if you're pregnant and you need help with that. And so there's all kinds of different, you know, the suicide hotlines listed there, mental health, job help. So the 211, you can Google it and put your state in, no matter what state you're in, and it'll show all these different resources to connect you. So even if you're not going through something right now, just remembering 211. When you have someone show up, or list that if you're an employer, coworker, ask to list that at work so that people know how to get resources. A lot of times right now, people, maybe they've never had to ask for help and they don't know how. It's okay to ask for help when you need it. And it's really important, because even if you have to put something on hold, that doesn't mean it's on hold forever. I promise you that. I had to put my book on hold for 6 months. It became a bestseller, and you know, but it was okay because I had to prioritize. And sometimes, like this year, we have to roll our sleeves up and do things differently, reprioritize things, and we will get to our goal at some point. And getting the help that we need, or sharing that with a friend who may need help, can make all the difference in their life.
True. And Sheila, I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't know about the 211. And because of COVID, a lot of people, they're not physically going into organizations. And so to know that you can dial that from your phone, that's a very valuable resource right there.
Yes, yes. I'd love to have you share some tips from maybe one of your books. You've got the 2 books, so.
Yes. Okay. The first book is Jealousy or Envy, Is There a Killer in You? Stop the War Within and Be Set Free. The tips that I would like to give from that is, number one, we don't have to be jealous of anyone, because we don't know the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears that they went through. And most of the time when people are successful, they had to work hard at it. Number two, learn to celebrate others, no matter what they've done. Maybe somebody wants to do, something that you're doing and you haven't done it yet. Learn to celebrate others, and learn to just speak positive words over your life, over your family, over what you're doing, because words do come back. A lot of times, I don't know if you remember, Sheila, when we were kids growing up, they used to say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yeah. But I'm here to tell everybody listening, words do hurt. Abuse is wrong either way, but words is something that stick with people from childhood up until adulthood. Because in one of my books, I mentioned, when you're growing up, some parents say, oh, you'll never be anything, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're not smart enough, you're not this, and you're not that. And that carries over into adult life. But I just like to tell everybody, we are all special and we're all unique. Just speak positive words over your life and over your situation, and believe it. And believe it.
Beautiful. And there is actually a scientific study by Dr. Emoto, and the study is that they actually wrote words on vessels of water. And on one vessel of water, they'll write love, peace, joy, beautiful words. and the molecular structure of the water changes to beautiful snowflakes and all these beautiful things. Now they take other vessels of water and they write hate and ugly things, mean things, and that water looks awful and just like knives, and it's can you imagine that? And then they did another study on plants, and they would talk to the plants, and they would give it negative or positive, and the plants would either flourish or die.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So even when you're talking to yourself, when you know, maybe we don't talk out loud, maybe we do, but when you're having your own self-talk, are you talking to yourself with love, the way you would speak to anyone else you love on this planet?
That's true. That's true. Because that self-talk we can be our worst critic a lot of times. You know, we really can.
And a lot of times I think that talk can show up from what we heard parents say that maybe weren't in the right state, or they didn't realize the consequences, or maybe their parents said the same thing to them, and it goes over generation and generation, and then it can stop with you. And just by changing your thoughts and rerouting your thoughts. I mean, when I lost my son, I would wake up in the morning and I'd go to sleep at night, and these images would come to my mind. I mean, he went to sleep peacefully. He had heart condition, Wolff Parkinson White. And so this is something that happens since 5th grade. He's had it, but still it was something we didn't plan. And I would go to the negative and I'd say, wait, I've got to bring it to the positive memories. And it was like rewiring that synapse in my brain to not just go negative. And I know you also lost loved ones, and that's a situation where our brain is protecting us from being hurt more. Yes. So we keep going to the pain. And so we need to retrain ourselves. Okay, we need to go to the happy memory before that, or what we would want us to keep with us about them. And that has really helped. It was very difficult at first.
Yes.
Yes,
that's true. That's true. And in one of my books, I mentioned about there's a chapter on mental health, because a lot of people who need to get mental health services won't, because they don't want to look at as I'm crazy, or something like that, because so many times people say, oh, she just crazy, she whatever. It's not that you're crazy, that people are crazy. It's just that you need help to navigate some thoughts and things going on in your life. But mental health is not a bad word, because anxiety, stress, all of that is under mental health, but we don't think of that, So we just need to be a little lighter on people when it comes to issues that they're dealing with. And it's okay to not be okay for a moment.
Yes. In fact, with my kids, the rest of the siblings, they were such a my family's really close. They just love each other. And so it was really hard on all the grown kids. They all spent time at home. And I said, you have permission to cry, to scream, hit the punching bag. I bought a punching bag, just for the purpose of getting out anger. Because in the stages of grief, you're going to go through different feelings, and they'll come out of nowhere, or somebody else. We had so many deaths this year on the news, and families and friends that it just triggered everything all over again. And then we had the anger of that, and the anger of losing our own. And it was a lot. And I said, there's a punching bag. And they all got grief counseling. I did too, because I felt, and then when you don't need it, you don't need it. And I said, if you feel like, gosh, I'm going down that, I'm feeling depressed again. Now we're hitting holidays. If you feel something again, go have a session or two, go talk to someone, join a group, a support group, somebody that can help you. A lot of times our friends and loved ones, if they haven't gone through a loss or whatever experience you had, or they're getting out of an addiction or whatever they're going through, if they haven't experienced it, they can't really help you, and they may not understand you. So it's great to get to a group or somebody trained in that field so they're able to help you and hear you.
That is true. And in my book, Speak Positively and Expect the Victory, Words of Wisdom, the things you just said and the things we're talking about now are things that I mentioned, to get help, talk to someone. Because Sheila, sometimes the people right around us don't see what we're going through because we get so familiar. They get so familiar, and they're just used to us being busy or maybe get quiet. And sometimes it takes someone on the outside to say, "Okay, Sheila, are you okay today? Linda, are you okay?" You know, and then when they, because if you don't mind, I'd like to share another moment.
Yes, please.
With COVID, before March, I was volunteering 3 times a week. I went to the senior center and the Y. I was doing a lot of things. So when COVID came, everything shut down and I had to stop. And I was like, I'm not used to this. So 4 or 5 months into this, I was like, oh God, I got to really do some things, you know. And so one day I was sitting on the couch and my friend, she called. I was laying on the couch, matter of fact. She called. She said, Linda, how you doing? Because we always check on each other. But that particular day, I said I was okay. But then I thought about it. I said, no, I'm not, because I miss my son. I miss my grandchildren. I miss my daughter. I miss them, you know, because they're out of state. Yeah. So I called her back. I said, you know what? I'm not okay. It's time for me to make a road trip. So I told my husband, I said, we need to leave and go, you know, visit, you know, Lamont and his family for a while. Because I was so used to, you know, and I'm a hugger. I just love hugging and just being with family. So I was like, okay, it's time to do something. So in my book, I always say, find something you like to do and do it. Especially, you know, we have to be creative during COVID because we really can't go out and do things like, you know, we're doing. So when you see that something might not be right or you might be gearing to go down another path, just acknowledge it and do something to change it.
Yes, yes. For me, when I felt down through COVID, there were days where I felt isolated or down a little bit, and I would go through my phone and I would start checking on people. I'm checking on you, and the next thing you know, they were feeling like I was feeling, and at the end of an hour or so, we were both happy, and I was like, oh, I needed to reach out to my friends, and even the strong ones.
Yes.
They were like, oh, thank you. Because nobody asked the strong people.
That's true, Sheila. That's true. Because we're the ones that are always helping everybody else. And people forget to ask about us. And that is very, very true. And I did like you. I reach out to people. I have a certain day I make phone calls. And you should see my bathroom mirror. I have all kinds of affirmations up there. Today going to be a great day. You know, I'm wonderful, I'm beautiful. I will help someone today. All kinds of affirmations on my wall, you know, throughout my house. Because that's what their words, once again, those powerful words. And those are words that help get us through.
That's beautiful. So affirmations, I talk a lot about affirmations and gratitude in my book as well. And it really, like I said, it got me through some hard points when the first day after losing my son, I had my kids sit down and I was like, okay, let's think about 3 things. We have this practice, 3 things you're grateful for. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, we need to find them. And it was really hard. And I saw their faces change and light up when they went to that gratitude space, even through the sorrow. And it actually carried us a little bit easier through those days. It really did.
It does. And people, you know, because I do that too. I love the 3 things you grateful for, or 1 thing you're grateful for. And I tell the people, just the fact that you are alive is something to be grateful for. That we can see, we can talk, we can hear. You know, that's more than 3 things right there. It doesn't have to be something really gigantic or something like that. Even the small things, you know, we can smell, we can taste. All those things are important. Just something to be grateful for every day. And like you said earlier, I've been through a lot of grief and deaths and things like that because I come from a huge family of aunts and uncles that had a lot of children as well. But some people, not until COVID, had they experienced death at all. I know a lot of people that had never lost anyone, you know, and you don't really know what it's like until you have to go down that journey. But there is a way to grieve properly and to cope with it all. You know, just don't isolate yourself and talk about it like you said earlier.
Yes, it is. It is this year. I mean, we lost 5 younger people that were in their 20s.
Mm.
And for different, there were suicides, overdoses, different situations going on. And that's not something we're used to either. It's out
No.
of order of what we would expect. And so that has been a big discussion. And I think what's happened is it really helps us to even listen to our children. Tune in,
Yes.
see a change. If you see something, if they're not talking, tune into them. Now they're home. It's almost like the universe, God, source sent us all home to like rebuild our families and then go
That's true.
out to the community and then go from there to this world. And so really listen. And if you don't know, sometimes our young kids or teens, young adults, they're not going to talk to parents, but let them know that you're offering help or can get them the help, give them the information, because they might talk to somebody else but not the parent, and that's pretty common.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
Sheila, that's true because I mentioned that in my book as well. The children, if you really talk to them, it's amazing the things that they will say to you. So because they have an opinion as well, children do. And there's something that I like to do with my grandsons, and it's called conversation pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And you pull out, a question, and the little things that they say, I'm like, they're 13, 12, and 5. I'm like, wow. I mean, you wouldn't think that they would know about that, or if they would ask another question pertaining to that. So I love to do conversation pieces with them, as a family time thing. And that way you can get to know a lot about them. Because parents might say, oh, my children, school isn't in, and my children not with certain people, but their phones, they can be bullied on the phone, because I mentioned bullying and domestic violence in my books as well, because their children are being bullied on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And and that saying bad things to them, and the suicide rate is up a lot since COVID, and so is domestic violence, and not just suicide with kids, it's with the health professionals as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just need to check on everybody that we can.
And if you have a friend that's they're kind of in an abusive situation and they're trying to get out, it's give them the 211 number, supportive, let them know to talk to all their safe friends and plan a way to get out safely. A lot of times people are in such abusive situations, they're afraid to leave because they fear for their life or their children's lives. So be patient with them and available and help them figure out a plan to safely get out of that type of situation.
Right. And I just wrote a newspaper article on domestic violence because October was Domestic Violence Month. And one of the things people say, well, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just go? That's not easy. You just can't pack your bags up when someone told you that I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill the children, and then this person is financially dependent on the abuser. So like you said, there has to be a safe plan. You just can't. Family just understand and just listen and pray and just tell them to come up with a plan, a safe plan, and there's a perfect time, and the call to 111, you use that as a resource, and the local domestic violence shelter, those kind of things.
Yes. Yeah, and you'll always be better off once you get to safety than when you
Yes,
were in that type of situation.
correct.
Yes, very good. Well, I'd love to have you share how people can connect with you, get to your coaching programs, get your books.
Okay, yes. The best way is to go to www.lindathompsonspeaker.com. And if you like, I have a join my email list, and that keeps you abreast of my speaking engagement, my upcoming books, and things like that. And also, I have a self-care quiz that you can do. And if you sign up for that, I can send that to you as well. I am on Facebook and I am on LinkedIn. And I will like for everyone to know that in February, I will be, my book I'm doing a collaborative book with 40 plus ladies all over the world. And that will be launching on February the 23rd, 21. And it's called Voices for of the 20th century women, 21st century women. and it's published by Women's Speaker Association. So if you sign up, I'll be able to let you know when that book will be launched and the other speaking engagements I will have.
Beautiful. And also you are invited back when that book is ready to be launched and out so we can share about it here. So, okay, thank you again, and we will be back after this message. Thank you, Linda, for being a guest.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. If you are just tuning in, this is the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. Here we have real people sharing real stories and actionable steps to help you rebuild, reinvent, and reboot your business and personal life on your terms. I'm your host, Sheila Mack, and we are here today on NBC's KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. Today, we are focusing on how to get back on track and reboot this year as we actually heading into the holidays and our new year. And many of our states and globally, actually, countries are starting to go back onto lockdown. So with that in mind, this is an interesting and possibly difficult season for some of our family, friends, and loved ones who may never have ever had a tough situation like this year. So keep this number 211 in mind. This is something that you can Google 211 and your state, and you will find resources that each state provides and province in Canada. 211 makes it easy to find food, housing, job training, after-school programs, and so much more. And the most important thing is that I would say 60% of the people I've surveyed have never heard of this valuable resource. So if you have a place of work you're still going to, ask if they can post this. A lot of times people don't really ask for help when they need it, but if they see a sign like this, they're more likely to go to a public health agency or help agency to get help getting meals on the table, help with transportation, income assistance, utility assistance, help with housing, health care, mental health, which is so important, especially this year, and it actually makes work a lot easier when your coworkers have their needs met. Obviously, it may be that they're a two-income family, and even though they're working one job, they still aren't making ends meet this year. So this is really important to share. Even if you don't need it yourself, keep it in mind for family, friends, loved ones, someone you find in the community that may need resources. I think obviously prayer works, blessings work, helping people, a listening ear, being kind. Kindness is so valuable this year. Lots of people are kind of divided about so many different issues, and as we unite in humanity and help each other, this is going to make all the difference. And you're able to give what you can. You can give a smile, you can give a listening ear, but then to be able to say, and hey, here's a resource to get food on your table or help you with housing right now. And so I think that 211 is just invaluable, and I have to share it as much as I can because I believe it will help people out there listening. So keep that 211 in mind. And now I'd like to get into a couple of Dear Sheilas because we are heading into the holidays. I'm going to share a few Dear Sheilas that kind of touch on some situations that might occur during the holidays. So take a listen. Welcome to Dear Sheila, answering real questions with real solutions to help reboot your life. What to do about the mental health crisis facing parents and small business owners as our world reopens. Dear Sheila, I'm a parent and small business owner, and I admit I'm concerned about stepping back into full-time operations as my city starts to reopen.
The other day, my close friend, who also runs a business, called me in tears as she found out one of her employees had attempted to take his own life due to all the isolation this year. As a small business owner and leader of my home, how do I help my family and check in on my employees while rebuilding and reinventing my entire business? I also struggle with my own mixed emotions as I prepare to reopen. How can I stay on track and mentally strong during these times? Signed, Boss Mom. Dear Boss Mom, this is definitely the year for rebooting and reinventing how we all run our businesses and homes. Allow time to possibly have a soft or slower reopening while taking good care of you. As the leader, how you show up each day is going to set the pace and emotional state of how your employees, clients, and family show up. It is more about how you choose to be and all that you are doing that will make all the difference. In the Boots formula I created, there are some steps that can help. The B in Boots is for being. It's about who you are being in all you are doing and who you need to be during this situation. You are going to have to show up and be very different than you were before this crisis. The first O in the Boots formula is for orientation. In order to get the outcomes you desire, you must be brutally honest here. I want X and I have zero funds for that project. Your outcomes this year need to be realigned to where you find your new orientation on the map. The next O in the Boots formula is for order of operations. Now that you know who you need to be and where your orientation is on your map, you can decide in which order you must do things for the remainder of this year to achieve realistic outcomes. The order in which you do things is going to really drive your results. The T in the Boots formula is for thinking. This is where mindset and your concern to stay strong and help your family and employees maintain mental health awareness comes in. This year especially, setting healthy boundaries and having the resources available to connect loved ones to the right tools can make all the difference. Remember, you don't have to be all and have all the answers, yet the right resources for your employees and family really helps. The S in the Boots formula is for stepping up. This is the part that takes all of the other pieces you have planned out and puts you and your business back into action. The time is now for us to collectively work together for the hurting among us. My hope is that this video series and my new book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, helps. In my book and on my website, I do provide plenty of free resources to help anyone dealing with a rock bottom situation reinvent and reboot their business and personal life. If you have a question for Dear Sheila, message me at www.dearsheila.com. As always, I wish you life, love, laughter, and light. Now, one of the things that Leonardo mentioned was that he had these incredible experiences going to O&O Academy in India, and I also journeyed to India with a beautiful group of friends and attended the O&O Academy, and back in the day the One World Academy as well. And there was so much transformation. I literally had to get special permission to get up and walk around because it was so hard for me to meditate when I first started. Yet it has truly gotten me through some of the tough times in life and is now a practice that I do daily. So I will be inviting Leonardo back when he finishes his next film, where he will be featuring some of the practices from the O&O Academy in India and more meditations and healing work. And until then, right now, I'd love to share with you a brief meditation. This is a free meditation for when you are getting ready to reboot your life. This is a great way to get grounded first before you start doing all the other work, to just take a moment and get grounded. So here we go. Welcome to the Boots Meditation. I'm Sheila Mack, your guide. If you are driving, pull over to a safe space, or just listen and do the breathing, and then later commit to going back and re-listening to this meditation when you have time to truly go into a deep healing meditation. So begin, if possible, by sitting on the ground, on a mat or on a pillow, sitting up straight and tall. Take 3 slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, slowly breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. And one more time, breathing in gratitude through your nose, breathing out all the cares of the world in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now slowly raise your hands to your sides and then overhead while closing your eyes and continuing to completely let go of anything that's no longer serving you. Breathing in peace, breathing out anything you no longer need. Raise your hands and stay connected to your breath as you're slowly breathing in and out. And now, as your hands are raised to the sky, give thanks. Give thanks to your hands, to the sky. Give thanks to the clouds and the loving light energy of the sun. And next, as you continue to slowly breathe in and out, pull your hands slowly down to the ground, bringing the love and light energy from the heavens to you, and then let your hands softly embrace the ground. Breathing in and out. Thank your source, thank God, Creator, and your dear Mother Earth. Ask for the grounding you may need to start rebuilding, reinventing, and rebooting your business and life, this time guided and completely on your terms, coming from a peaceful space and place of groundedness. Continue feeling the ground beneath you, breathing in sunlight, breathing out love. And next, continue your breathing, and now you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, breathing at your own pace. Make a gentle turn with your arms outstretched a little bit less than shoulder height, and slowly turn safely to your right side. And as you're doing this, continuing your breathing at your own pace, in and out. Gratitude in, love and light out. Send gratitude for all the small right actions that you are choosing now and each right action that you are going to take moving forward as you turn toward your right. Continue your breath work and slowly turn now toward the right rear of the room or outdoors where you're seated, holding space and gratitude, breathing in and out. Space and gratitude are being held for what has transpired behind you. Give thanks for the past, for the times you've learned, the lessons you've learned, the times you've listened, and the times you've made it victoriously toward the beautiful present now. Continue your breath work in gratitude, returning slowly to the front-facing position, and then let your hands peacefully be planted back down on the earth. Again, slowly taking a deep breath in and out. Breathing in love, breathing out light. Taking in even more gratitude and releasing out any person, any place, or anything which is not aligned with your current life purpose. Breathing out anything that's not aligned with your current mission. Breathing in love and light, and breathing out anything that no longer serves you. Continue your breathing and slowly raise your arms to your sides, straight out, slightly lower than your shoulder height, and then slowly turn toward your left. Send gratitude to all your loved ones, your family, your friends, people in the community that have helped bring you beautiful things. Think about even the clothes on your back or the food on your table and all the people involved in making that happen. Give gratitude to those people you've never met that have now put so much love and light in your life. Send gratitude also, maybe even to those past bullies or enemies that have now left your life. Thank them for being a part of your life's journey, breathing in love, breathing out life and light, breathing in love and light, and breathing out gratitude. Now, as you are still facing towards your left side, thank those people for being a part of your life's journey and giving you such incredible strength. Breathing in love, breathing out gratitude. Stay turned toward your left and listen to your breath. Be thankful for your breath this year especially. Thankful, sending out prayers and healing blessings to all that may be struggling with breath right now. Be in gratitude for your breath. And now, as you're still turned toward your left, remember that the left is your heart space. Your heart space is on the left of your body. So give thanks for your heart space, for your heart that breathes and gives love and light and receives love and light energy every day. Now as you continue your breath, breathing in love and light, breathing out gratitude, turn toward the left rear of the room or outdoors where you are seated. A gentle turn while you're continuing to breathe in love and light and breathe out gratitude. Breathing in gratitude. Breathing out forgiveness. Forgive any person, place, or thing that needs to be released. Send them love and a prayer or blessing for healing. Surely anyone that harms another comes from a very hurt space. Set them free as you set yourself free, opening up your left heart center to the present, to the gifts of the present. Now turn slowly back toward the center, hands slowly floating down to the ground as you continue to breathe in love and light, breathing out gratitude, feeling the earth beneath you holding you. Decide in all you are called to do as you rebuild and recreate your life, guided and on your terms, that you will be in a state of blissful beingness. Keep this mantra: in all I am doing, it is who I am being. And every day I will breathe in love and light. I will breathe out gratitude. Now slowly raise your hands to your heart center, to the prayer position, and say this very simple 2-word prayer mantra. Thank you. Thank yourself for showing up every day, for getting you through the ups and downs in your life's journey. Thank your loved ones, family, friend, the earth, source, love and light. Give thanks, saying thank you as a simple prayer mantra as you continue to peacefully breathe in love and light and breathe out gratitude. And you are now ready to slowly open your eyes, slowly, still on the heart, still thinking of this heart center and how you can give love and kindness to all that need extra love and kindness this year, including yourself. Now you're in a beautiful, blissful, grounded space, and you're ready to apply the Boots formula to your life from a calm and solidly grounded space. I'd like to invite you to take my free Introduction to the Boots Formula course. This is a great way to continue past your meditation, where you're going to use this formula as a tool and a guide to help you reinvent, rebuild, and redesign your life, guided and on your terms. You may get the free course, Introduction to the Boots Formula, at www.sheilamac.com. Thank you for listening. I wish you life, love, laughter, and light. Namaste. And now I have some homework for you. I would love for you to grab a copy of my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. It is now available on Audible as well as on Amazon and Kindle and at www.sheilamac.com. I will be donating a book or course. If you look online, you'll see the courses I offer as well, to women's shelters across the United States and Canada whenever a course or book is purchased. So check it out, and I look forward to sharing more with you next time. As always, I wish you life, love, laughter, and light.